good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, wherever in the world you are. Thank you for joining us. It's so good to be here with you. I see all of your smiling faces floating in the bottom of my screen. Tell me where you're joining us from. Drop a hello in the chat. Tell me your location. We always take a few minutes here in the beginning just to come together. If it's your first time here, welcome. I'm Charleene, and I'm so glad that you are here. So today we are come natural live, industry lingo. My husband's a filmmaker. So we are joining you today on Insight Timer, also on YouTube. We're on Facebook and Instagram, also our Circle community. So we're a little bit everywhere. Anywhere that there's a heart that we can possibly touch, we're trying to help do that. So glad you're joining us. Today is a beautiful day. It is a good day. It's a great day. It is a great day. You're right? You can feel that. I love that. Good morning, Lori from Madison, Wisconsin. Nice to see you. Nancy joining us on Insight Timer. Nancy saying the audio is going in and out. This is one of the joys, Nancy, of Insight Timer. Sometimes the sound cooperates and sometimes it doesn't. But if you ever want secure sound all the way through, you can pop over to our YouTube channel. Just look at my name. And you'll find our live stream there where the sound is always flawless. Good morning, Olivia. Nice to see you. So glad you're here. I love your emojis. Ooh, wow, look at these guardrails that the bowls are suggesting we connect into right now. Hello, A. Murteza from Pakistan. Nice to see you. So glad you're joining us. Hey, Kylie Ann. Good evening from Hobart, Tasmania. Hope you've had a beautiful day, Kylie Ann. Vanessa from France joining us. Delighted you're here. Yeah, A. Murteza says, YouTube always sounds perfect. Fantastic. It's the delights of technology. Indeed it is. Hey, Gail, nice to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Glad you're joining us today. Carrie on Insight Timer says, yeah, the audio keeps cutting out. Carrie, if you want to flip over to our YouTube channel, please feel free to do so. Today is a very, very good day. And I've said that, but there's a reason behind it. According to astrology, today is the most powerful day in all of 2026. I almost said the wrong year. I need to come into present time. It's the most powerful day in 2026 to attract abundance, and it's one of the most auspicious days of this entire year for wealth and expansion. And it's because the planet of Venus and the planet of Jupiter are meeting. They're going to go hang out. It's called a conjunction. 25 degrees of Cancer. Don't worry about the details. It's just sometimes I know some of you enjoy knowing them. And what happens when these two great benefic planets, that means they bless us. They are beneficial, benefic. Venus and Jupiter, when they come together in the sky, especially in Cancer, where Jupiter is exalted, the energy of abundance is unlike anything we're going to see in all of 2026. So today is a day for manifesting through receiving. So you are in the most perfect place because to receive, you can't be in fight, flight, or freeze. We need to be in a place of centered awareness and coherence. So today it's all about calming ourselves into this present moment. And if you don't necessarily feel calm yet, that is all right. You're exactly where you are meant to be. This is an opportunity to come together, to allow our own systems to begin to relax and regulate. Life is all about the balance of being regulated, and I think of sometimes being dysregulated too, because we need to understand and experience both to have the fullness of what it is to walk in these skins. And yes, the ultimate goal will be to always be in perfect balance and alignment. And until that point, I think we just enjoy the ride. Lisa, so glad you're joining us. this is really interesting. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Charleene, and in front of you are 21, I think today, 21 chromatically tuned quartz crystal singing bowls. Why does that matter? Chromatic. Think about all of the black and white keys on a piano keyboard. We have all of these beautiful white notes. But we also have all these delightful black keys as well. And this is what makes this set of bowls chromatic. And why chromaticism is important is because it adds color. It lets us add color to our sound. So no longer are we beholden to a single key signature. In classical music, we would call this a key signature. So I just played C major. With these bowls, we actually have the opportunity to roll into D major too. And that's one of all of the color keys that we have the opportunity to connect into because we have the bowls above and below as well. My background is classical music. I've played piano since I was 2 years old. Violin was my primary instrument, so I see the world in sound and color and through story, which is why so much of what we do is also story-based, archetypally based. We understand as humans the power of story. Think about it. Back in the day, when we were living in caves, what did we do? Every night we gathered around the campfire, a fire, to tell the story of our lives, of the day, to understand nature happening all around us all of the time, to make sense of it. So story is something that's inherent, it's innate in all of us, and we're moved by story. And I think the most powerful story that we can ever be moved by is our own. That's why we're here, to have this journey of life, to understand the story of the divine moving through each and every one of us in its own unique way. The divine story cannot unfold in you as it can in me, and it cannot unfold in me as it can in you. Every story is important and must be told. That's why we're here. It's the greatest blessing, sometimes the hardest responsibility too. And yet, it's the undergirding of life, understanding, moving through our stories and becoming the hero of our journey. And today, that's what we'll move through. So yes, we use sound. Yes, we use story. And yes, we move through our own energetic space. Science calls it our biofield. We move through this space with as much awareness as we can bring in each and every moment. So today, this is your journey. However you choose to experience this will be perfect for you. Some like to be very active and participative and follow every moment and experience every morsel that comes out and comes up for you. That's great. Some will fall asleep. And that's okay too. Sleep is the body's natural way to reset. What do you think you do every night when you fall asleep and you dream? You're resetting, you're recalibrating, you're retuning yourself into this life more fully. So I'm just going to go ahead and flow into what we'll be connecting into today. I was sharing today's a special day. That's why we thought, the abundance portal, that sounds fun. Who doesn't want more abundance in their lives? And it's interesting because these are the things that more often than not we ask for. Oh, I want more abundance. Oh, I want more money. Oh, I want more wealth. Oh, I want more goodness. And yet, those are the things that seem the most elusive. So why is that? We're going to dive into that question today. And that's the question that's circulating underneath everything we're about to do. And I think the question actually, if we can articulate it in a way, is something that maybe we don't expect. The question isn't whether good things are coming to you. They are. Every miracle that is meant to be yours is on its way. The question is whether You, me, we have room to hold them when they arrive. So right now, the sky is opening one of its most rarefied doorways. It's portals, where Venus and Jupiter, two of the brightest celestial lights, are drawing into a single point, an exact meeting. It's a conjunction, and it's in the sign of Cancer. Jupiter loves Cancer. And Venus, the planet that holds the frequencies of beauty, of value, of worth, of letting ourselves treasure experiences, not just experience with ourselves, but with others. It's relational. And Jupiter holding the frequency of expansion, of grace, of more. When these two meet in this conjunction, in this beautiful dance, a wave of grace begins to pour into the shared field that we all live in. So right now is a genuinely generous time, a perfect moment to be alive, a fortuitous time for abundance, and even for social opportunities, because remember, Venus is about connection. And I'd like for you to consider this a wave of grace, this beautiful vibration that's raining down into the field all around us. It doesn't always change your life simply by arriving, right? You know that. Grace instead changes your life when you can receive it. And receiving it, I mean really, really receiving it. Not just saying, I want it, but saying, I step back, I open the doorways of my heart. I allow my ego to dissolve in such a way that I can receive that which is mine. Not from a mental, egoic state, but from a heart place expanded wisdom. That's receiving. And sometimes it feels like it's a skill that our body, our mind, our nervous system, you either currently have room for, or maybe you don't yet. So when grace is arriving, the question is, how much room do we do, or maybe not quite have yet? I was wrestling with this myself last night. And it's not a small question. Listen, seldom are the best ones ever small. We put them to the back, and they look small because they're in the distance. But the truth is that when we bring them to the front, they seem ginormous. So think of it like this. Here's an analogy on grace and receiving. And I like this analogy. You have a window, a width, for how much good you can take in before something inside you flinches or hesitates or maybe pulls back. You might know that feeling, that compliment that you deflect. The when you barely let yourself feel before you start saying, okay, what's next? What do I have to accomplish next? What do I have to do next? What do I need to check off my list next? What anxiety can I entertain again? That good thing that arrives and somehow just slides right off you, like water off a duck's back. These are two reasons, there's a few reasons that the window, that width, will stay narrow. The first one is old wiring, literally, in your body. We are designed in such a way that, evolutionarily speaking, we tend to hold tight to what threatens us and let go of what blesses us. It's survival. We're quick to keep the danger and slow to keep the gift. So the good doesn't always stick. Sometimes it washes past before it ever even registers. The second reason, probably even a little bit simpler, when more arrives than what you're accustomed to holding, Sometimes your system reads even good expansion as too much, and it braces, it contracts away from the very thing that it wanted. So today, we're going to enact some handy tools that you'll be able to take with you even after our time together. A tool that's small enough that you can use anytime, anywhere. In a line at Starbucks, at work, at home after someone said something, any moment. When something good actually lands, good, a kindness, a moment of plenty, a small grace, a high five, hey, you did really well, you just blew my mind. Pause. Just simply pause. Bring a hand to your heart and begin to physically feel that feeling of goodness. Not for a flash, oh, that's nice, and it's gone. But for a slow count, 10 to 15 seconds. Long enough for it to actually begin to sink in and take hold. Let it land. Pause, feel, let it land. And every time you do, two things happen at once. The good starts to stick, and that window widens. What you're able to receive expands because your body learns it can hold a little bit more and stay open and be safe. One breath at a time, you begin to build a bigger room inside yourself, a bigger window for grace, for life's goodness. So today, we're going to widen that room together. And then we're going to fill it, because why not, right? It's a perfect day to do that. And not with anything from out here, not the things, but with something that's already yours, something that maybe you simply have only been looking at from one angle, so you couldn't quite see it yet. We're going to lean into seeing that a little bit better. So to help the work land more deeply in our body today, and not just in the mind, we're actually going to use 3 simple gestures of the hands, mudras. Mudra, that Sanskrit word for seal, a lock, an anchor, a particular way of holding our hands that sends a clear signal inwards. And that works because your fingertips are some of the most densely wired tissue in your body. So a deliberate shape that is made is never an idle shape. It's actually communicating deep within your brain and deep within your nervous system. These shapes that we have gone through before, they actually close a circuit and they press a state into the wiring of your body. And it's a state that you can find later just by forming that shape again. So the first gesture is that of an open vessel. This is sometimes called dhyana, the seal of receiving. Dhyana, dhyana, tomato, tomato. So this seal of receiving is where you let your hands rest in your lap. Palms open and turned up, the right hand cradled inside of the left, and then the thumbs, the tips of the thumbs, just touching lightly, closing that circle. You've probably seen a resting Buddha make this particular pose. Makes a great statue. Because it does. It begins to evoke rest. Rest is a point where we can receive. We're not pushing out. We're allowing energy to come in and inform and shape and augment. So as your 2 hands become a bowl, an empty, open, wanting bowl. This is the shape of being ready to receive. Just feel into that for a moment. It feels good just to sit here. Wonderful. Now the second shape, the second mudra, some of you who have been with us, you already know this. This will be familiar. It's a gesture of letting it land. A hand resting at the center of your chest, over that sacred heart. And a single word here, imprinted with this touch. Sanctuary. Sanctuary. Hand to heart. One breath, the word sanctuary, and your home, the shape of your own worth right here sealed in. This works because your heart is a multidimensional portal. And the third mudra that we'll be using today is actually from the Gene Keys lineage. It's a mudra of bounteousness. If you were here with the Wealth series, you'll remember this. You place your right hand low on your belly, your left hand resting over it, and you feel that weight and warmth of your own center. There over this section of our body, depending on where it feels good to you, you may be connecting into either the third chakra, into the second chakra. You'll find where it feels good to you. In general, and Taoist or Taoist understanding, this is that, and you may have heard this from Qigong, this is that lower Dantian. Remember where we have the head, the heart, and the gut. Yep, this is that place that we begin to seal in that shape of that deep well that never runs dry. And when we feel into this, that seal takes everything you've received and actually begins also to ground it, to root it, and to help make what is yours even more yours. Great. Good job. So we'll meet all three of these again in a moment, but for now, just let your hands simply rest. Find a position that feels both grounded and open to your body, whatever that is, whether you're seated or lying down, feeling supported. Allowing your body to be held how your body wants to be held right now. And whenever you're ready, you can allow your eyes to gently close and notice your breath. And as you breathe, allow yourself to easily notice whatever is in your space right now. Maybe any noise or static. Maybe any relaxation or peace. Maybe any anxiety, tension, worry, or stress. Just notice anything that's presenting itself to you right now. There's no need to judge, just witness. What you witness is providing you feedback. Feedback is data you can use to transform yourself any moment of every day. So bring your awareness now gently to the center of your chest, to that sacred heart. And take one slow breath in all the way, and one letting go breath slowly. Just notice how your breath feels right now. It may feel a little differently today than it did yesterday. Bring your awareness now gently to the center of your chest, to that sacred heart. And take one deep, slow breath, breathing in, breathing out. You see, when we move through the world stressed or scattered, the rhythm between our heartbeats becomes jagged. Spikes, drops, jitters, but underneath, in the right conditions that you can create anywhere, that rhythm can smooth into a long, even wave. It's called a sine wave. It's balanced, it's beautiful. It's perfectly symmetrical. Your heart, your breath, and your nervous system will fall into one rhythm, and that ordered wave is called coherence. So rest your attention here in the area of your heart as though you could see from this point, as though you could breathe from this point. And you might notice it's easy to breathe a little slower, a little deeper than usual, feeling that breath flowing in and out of the heart itself, in through the heart, out through the heart. And it's easy to allow your breath to lengthen just a little bit more. And see how it would feel if you could inhale for the count of 5 and exhale for a count of 5. Let's try it together, taking a deep breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. At your own pace. And that unhurried pace is the exact rhythm where your heart most easily finds its smooth, coherent waves, and you stay with it gently on your own. And as you keep breathing through your heart, invite an intensely positive feeling, a lovely feeling, like a feeling of deep gratitude, appreciation, love, or care. Find it from your past, find it from your imagination. Just begin to ignite that lovely positive feeling, bringing to mind perhaps someone you love, perhaps a furry friend who loves you unconditionally. Call to mind perhaps a place that steadies you, a moment you were wildly glad to be alive. Let that feeling, that genuine feeling, be real, honest, and true. Good. Now, magnify this feeling. Begin to turn up the volume of that warmth, feeling it begin to radiate throughout your body. Let the warmth rest in your chest and propagate, spreading outward from the heart with every exhalation. And you notice it's easy to begin to feel your body relaxing, beginning to come even more alive. Feeling, generating, indulging yourself in this activated coherence. The breath, the heart, feeling all locked into an ordered rhythm that's perfect for you. And it's easy to begin to notice how any inner static you came in with has already begun to settle, to retune, to let go. And it's easy to feel an even deeper level of relaxation, a stronger, cleaner signal, deliberately taking that place. Rest in the warm, coherent glow of your sacred heart. Let it deepen. That warmth, that glow, that's your truest signal, your own inner compass. Allow it to arrive fully. Let it inform. Let it expand. is about alignment. So let's begin to set down firm and secure roots, so everything to come has a solid foundation upon which to rest. If you have a grounding practice, I invite you to begin that now. If not, think, imagine, or feel a golden cord of grounding light originating at the base of your spine, about the width of your hips. Watch begin to descend down through the chair, the floor, the ground beneath you, down into the rich, dark earth, until it finds the place that feels most settling to you, familiar. Perhaps deep in the bedrock or the core of the earth, perhaps closer to the surface, wherever that lands for you today, wherever feels right. And there, your golden cord of light wraps in, aligning, connecting into that bedrock, holding. And some of you may begin to experience it growing a little wider, stronger, allowing it to be exactly what you need right now. And know this, anytime throughout our journey, when you feel something that you're ready to set down, a thought, a heaviness, stress, worry, and energy, any data that no longer serves, you can simply watch, experience, feel. Let it dissolve down that golden cord, recycling itself back into the earth. The cord stays with you the whole way through. And now, from this rooted, grounded place, allow an image I'll describe to begin to form in the theater of your mind. There's no need to reach for it or to force it. Simply allow it to arrive, the way a landscape slowly dissolves from the morning mist. The image is, you find yourself standing comfortably alone in a space, a place, an environment that is yours, only yours. Perhaps a wide open field, perhaps a quiet room with light pouring in, perhaps a familiar, happy place, or somewhere you've never been, yet somehow already know. Arrive into that place. Feel the ground beneath your feet, the same earth your golden cord is rooted into. This is your own inner ground, the one still place the outside world cannot reach unless it's invited. Take a moment to let this place become vividly real to you. Not just seen or imagined, but felt with every inner sense. Notice the light here, how it falls, where it's bright, and where it softens, the colors it warms as it lands. Feel the air on your skin. Perhaps a tingling warmth, perhaps a clean, cool breeze moving past, perhaps a stillness that simply holds you. Let a sound arrive, the particular quiet of this place, or whatever lives at its edges, a bird song, a breath of wind, distant water, the deep hush beneath it all. Take in the scent of the air, something green, something warm, something pungent, something sweet, something that tells your body without words, you are safe here. let your whole body settle into the comfort of this place, how it asks nothing of you, how it has only ever been glad you've arrived. The more real you allow it to become, the more you can completely hold it. This place knows you, and it's been waiting. And you breathe, knowing that now, right now in this moment, there is nothing to do, nothing to fix. Just stand on your own ground, that sacred soil, and breathe. You are here. You are held. And you are ready. And from this steady, sacred ground, we invite the opportunity to shift, to transform, to invite the inner work. If right now you had tried to tell yourself, to speak of your own worth, some portion of your mind would begin to register the list, the ledger, the checklist of what you've done, what you've accomplished, what you've earned, who's approved of you. And this part of your mind has been doing so much living for you. Doing this math your entire life. And somehow that math always comes up a little bit short. So we're not going to ask anything from that part of the mind. We see it, we acknowledge it, and we leave it resting. Instead, in this private, special space of yours, that happy place, allow a window to appear. A simple, single window, no matter how elegant or inelegant, set into the air before you, hanging as if by magic. And deep down, you know that this window is the very same frame and width that defines how we value ourselves. That glass in the window is where good things slide off. The window decides how much light gets in. And you have peered into this window your entire life. You have been looking through it, gazing on your days, your choices, your reflection. In your mind's eye, see yourself step towards that window now and look, not to judge what you see, just to see. Just see through this window. Your life lays itself out before you at an easy and safe distance, near enough to take in, far enough that nothing here can pull you off of that settled foundation of your inner sanctuary. Look with kind eyes, the way someone who has loved you for a very long time would look, watching you when you didn't know they were even there. from here, you may begin to notice things you've always let slide right off this glass. You, the one who kept going, the one who stayed kind when it cost something, the hidden evidence that was always in the frame that you, up close and keeping score perhaps, couldn't quite see. And it's easy to begin to trust in the knowing that the evidence was never missing. It's always been there. Yet somehow, perhaps you were only ever pressed too close to that fogged glass to take it all in. Just notice, what do you see? If it helps, you can begin to call to mind moments when you didn't recognize the goodness, the kindness of a moment. Just notice. And notice the glass itself. How streaked perhaps it's become, clouded, narrow. All of that striving has fogged the glass. Years of bracing created a grime over its clarity. No wonder the view felt so small. No wonder the light became so thin. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, allowing your heart to begin to relax. And as you slowly exhale, you feel a resolve emerge. Let's clean the glass. Let that old bracing, all that noise, rise up and show itself. The grip you carry from reaching, striving, trying to earn your place at the table, and see it for what it is. It's just fog on a glass, the grime, the dirt, the dust of years. And there's no need to scrub it. There's no need to fight it or feel overwhelmed by it. This is simply a reflection of something you are showing yourself in this moment, that your deeper self, your higher self, knows that you are ready to release. So simply raise a hand in your mind's eye, and with one slow, easy pass, begin to wipe the glass clean. Watch the streaks lift with each pass. Watch the cloud, the grime, thin and vanish with each loving embrace as you touch the glass on your window. And to whatever stubborn film remains, speak kindly, feel kindly, the way you'd thank an old guard who has stood watch for far too long. From your heart, begin to feel yourself express, I see you. Thank you. You were trying to keep me safe. Well done. Thank you. And now you are free to soften. Your work here is done. I thank you and I bless you. Take a slow, clearing breath in, holding it gently, feeling your heart relax. And as you slowly let it go, feel a wave of soft golden light sweep down the crown of your head, down the shoulders, down the spine, down the arms, across the glass, carrying the last of the fog away with it. Down through the chest, the belly, the hips, the old weight falling away, dissolving down that golden cord of light into the earth below. you see the window stands clear, and more than clear, it has begun to grow, its width to widen, the frame opening and opening, more light, more view, more room than you have ever let yourself have. Just notice that spaciousness pouring in, the quiet that's left when the striving stops talking, and into that light-filled space, let your hands form that open vessel, the Mudra of Dhyana, your seal of receiving. Palms up, resting in your lap, the right cradled in your left palm, your thumbs lightly touching. The shape of a bowl, the shape of ready. Begin to feel yourself breathing through your palms. Can you feel the air moving in and out of this bowl? And as you breathe, you recognize you're no longer pressed to the glass, straining to see inside your window. You are simply open, a window thrown wide, a vessel at last empty enough and wide enough to be filled. And now, let that new light do what it could never do before. Through the open window and through the open bowl of your hands, let it begin to pour down into you, past the surface into the deep and silken quiet, the old fog it always kept dark. Gently follow it down, down towards your own core, where it has been waiting all this time to be seen by exactly this light. There, beneath you, beneath this ground, the same light begins to reveal layers of soft, shimmering sand, covering something precious. The sand, these layers have gathered over a lifetime. And you smile, for you know that your breath, the gentlest tool, can be used to clear them. Take a deep breath in, holding that breath in, and as you slowly exhale, breathing over the first layer, everything the world told you your value depended on, how you look, what you achieve, how much you hold. Breathe and watch it brush gently aside, dissolving into light. It was never true that you had to earn this. Moving down into the next layer, beneath that, an older layer still, the inherited ones. The fears of scarcity, the patterns of not enough, handed down by people who never got to set them down themselves. And with deep compassion, allow your breath to brush this away too. Their struggle was never your inheritance to carry. Going down, down deeper still, beneath that, the most tender layer, that small private verdicts that you pass on yourself. and bless it. For some of you, you may want to breathe again, breathing over that gray mist of the self-judgment you carried. And as you exhale, allowing it to just let go, realize that these moments shaped you. They never defined you. They were never the truth of you. And there, just beneath the last of it all, something begins to glimmer. You brush away that final trace, ready for this reveal, because at the very core of you, you sense, you see, you feel, you hear a treasure, brilliant and whole, a gem, perhaps a flawless diamond throwing pure, clear light, perhaps a sphere of golden warmth, humming, vibrating, pulsing, dancing, moving, perhaps a simple cup, a chalice, brimming, overflowing. Trust whatever image arises for you. It's perfect, it's yours. And you know that this is your own worth. And you didn't build it. It was placed within you, even before you arrived, perfect and complete. This treasure cannot be broken, it cannot be earned, and it cannot be taken. It simply is. And it is you. Let it rise up and fill you from the soles of your feet to the crown of your head. And now, bring one hand to rest over your heart, over that sacred heart. Feel the warmth of your treasure meeting the warmth of your palm, and let one word seal it in. Sanctuary. Sanctuary. This is a gesture you can carry every moment of every day, hand to heart, one breath, sanctuary, and you are home instantly in the one place your worth was never in question. And here, at the bright, still center of it, allow a single knowing to rise in your own voice. Perhaps speak it aloud or say it to yourself softly. I am worthy of all that flows to me. I am worthy of all that flows to me. I am worthy of all that flows to me. Now, let that truth settle through you. In whatever way your own being asks, there's no right way to receive it. If part of you wants the words to echo, let them circle softly on their own again and again. If part of you wants the words to dissolve, let them melt into pure, wordless warmth and rest in the spaciousness they left behind. Either way, the field holds you. Both doorways lead home. And now, with that window widened, that beautiful treasure of worth uncovered, let what you have noticed has been pouring into that shared space at last begin to pour into you. That rare grace coming in from overhead, the expansion, the plenty, the more. Feel it descend like warm light into a vessel finally open enough and worthy enough to hold it. And this time, it does. This time, it lands. This is your time. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, and as you slowly exhale, let your hands now move into that last gesture, the Mudra of Bounteousness, right hand low on the belly, left hand resting over it. Feel the weight of your own center and feel everything you've received settle here, root here, ground here, align here. Feel it take in and keep. This is that deep well that does not run dry. Feel the warmth of it overflow, first filling you and then naturally spilling past your edges into the field around you. For this is the quiet secret of real abundance. A full vessel doesn't hoard, it overflows. And the more freely you let it move through you, the more freely it returns. The whole field grows brighter when one more of us stops apologizing for our fullness, our uniqueness, our value. And as you breathe, you begin to sense how the space around you has changed. The bare ground has become a floor of warm light. The air itself even glows. This is no longer just a happy place or your inner ground. This has become your sanctuary, a permanent, indestructible room within you where your worth is always visible and there is always, always room for more. Take a slow breath in, and as you breathe out, draw all of it down into the center of your chest, where it can root and rest and become a permanent piece and part of you. The room is built, it's been constructed, and you are the architect of your value, your worth, your reality, and your destiny. And now, it's time to begin making your way back, returning to this time, this place, this new now moment. And just before you do, know that the path to this open, worthy, spacious place is now yours, familiar, true, and even more present than perhaps it's been. And anytime you choose to return, you can arrive more quickly, more easily, more deeply. Each time you choose to settle, to work with, to receive from the sounds of these chromatic crystal singing bowls. Now, gather up everything you came here for. Bring the spaciousness you have found when that striving fell away. Bring the treasure at your core, the worth that's always been yours. Bring those small portable gestures, hand to heart, one breath sanctuary, And bring the practice that widens a room, your room, a little more day by day. When something good arrives, you pause and you allow it to land, gather it all, and gently carry it back with you now. And if this is your time to drift into sleep, into the great mystery of the dreamland, then rest well. And dream from a place of certain defined and irrefutable worth, awakening renewed, with more room in you than was ever there before. Or, if you're ready to step back into the fullness of your day, come with me now. Take a slow, full breath in. And as you let it go, feel yourself returning all the way home into your body. Every image in your mind just gently dissolves as you come back into this new time-space place, beginning to wiggle your fingers, your toes, and your nose, feeling your body settle as a long, easy stretch is welcomed. Feel your energy rising bright and awake. And whenever you're ready, in your own perfect time, your eyes just softly drift back open. And you breathe with a sense of purpose, knowing that your life is a little wider than it was. Your worth more anchored to the truth of you. The grace that's moving through this world is still moving, and it always will be. And now you have even more room to receive it, to hold it, and to let it land. Welcome back. Well done. How was that for you, my friends? What did you feel? What did you notice? If it feels comfortable, please share it in the chat. We're happy to go through all of that. And as you do, let me share what I was able to witness today. Sound always has a way of showing up where we need it the most. We don't always know the why or the how, or even the when. But sound comes as a quiet reflection, a reflection that we need for some reason. Sometimes it's a reflection of comfort. Sometimes it's a reflection of work, subtle suggestions, opportunities to grow and expand. Sometimes it comes with a loud, raging force, like thunder in the distance, that suddenly becomes so present that you can't help but hear. Sometimes it comes quietly, like a whisper in the night. And today I thought it was so fascinating how the sound came with a gentle graciousness. During some of our live sessions, the sound will come in as if out of nowhere. There will be a bell-like clarity of sound, of volume seeming to turn up, a strong, well, that came through very clearly. And other times it's very soft and it's like whisper. But today it was almost as though it was a steady friendship, a presence, a truth of something that it's undeniable. It doesn't need to shout because it is. It doesn't need to whisper because you already know it's there. But its presence is always enough. And that is how the sound arrived today. I thought it was interesting because so often we moved between four tonal places. Five. A, C, E, D, and F. So F makes sense. F major in classical music. F is a very calming key. There's a settling to it. We will feel F frequently in our chest, strongly connecting us into this portal of the heart. So anytime we need to move gently, knowingly, F major helps us do that. I say these keys, if this is your first time joining us, because in classical music there are certain reasons that we compose in certain keys. Because keys and fundamental tone, the fundamental tone of F, elicits a very specific response in almost everyone's body. The color of F and its corresponding tones evoke an archetypal response within us. Another key that we connected to was C. C, I always say, is like the most beautiful vanilla ever. It's very accessible, it's very childlike, it's open and simple and pure, and you can't really adulterate it, and it's easy to understand. And I think anytime you're dealing with self-worth, opening ourselves, moving through those places of trauma, of hurt, of pain, C is an easy place for us to re-access to. It's also an easy place to bring us back into our bodies, to help us ground more into these bodies, and that's frequently how C would come up during the sessions. Another key that would come up actually was A, which this guy frequently visits us. And from a classical music perspective, it makes sense because A, as a fundamental tone, has a strong connection to the divine, a subtleness, a deeper knowing. Call it divine, call it knowing, whatever you want to call it. In classical music, A minor has a very feminine sort of piety to it. And I say piety not from a religious dogma, but from a deeper connection to a higher truth and a faith, a trust in that, knowing that all is well. Whereas A major has this innocent love of satisfaction, of a hope, of a youthful cheerfulness and trust that all is well. And when we deal with feeling unworthy or weighed down, A major helps us remember that deeper knowing. And finally, the piece de resistance, D. Both D major and D minor. Let's talk about D major. D major is a very triumphant sound. And depending on how the sound arrives, determines the degrees of triumph, I would say. And in how we're processing it. And so I loved how there was this rejoicing that would frequently come whenever we were clearing the fog, experiencing that inner window from a place of greater truth for each and every one of us. What was also interesting is that it felt like D minor, which is also a more feminine type of key, would invite those places of melancholy. Melancholy, a little bit of internal sadness, that little funk sometimes that we all feel. That's informing, that's helping us understand inside where we have opportunities to shift or grow or change. And there's a softness in that place that ultimately leads us into the transition of overcoming, of triumph, back into D major. So yeah, that's what showed up for us today. And a few other tiddly biddlies, but those were really good. So let's see how this was for you. I'm so glad I know so many of you had to shift from Insight Timer over onto YouTube. T Lady Nat, Monica, nice to see you. Abigail, Debbie, so glad that you're all here. I appreciate you being here. Lori, glad that you were able to switch over to YouTube. Suzanne says, yep, she joined as well. Stones Jones from Tennessee, sending love and all of those emojis back. The Squirrelios say hello. I love this. Wild One says, you are not someone who needs to be pushed into becoming more. You are someone who grows best when you are aligned, responsive, and self-trusting. Exactly. More for you is actually closer to your perfected state. And your level of more need not correspond, relate, or even have anything to do with my level of more. We might use the same word, more, to describe this outpouring of expansion, but the truth is that your expansion is uniquely yours, just as mine is uniquely mine. And that's what makes it so perfect. We really can't screw it up. Nobody is, we need not judge ourselves against anyone else, because nobody can live the life that we are sent here, are destined, are asked, are tasked, however you want to think about it, to do. So the question is, what are you asked? What are you tasked? What were you sent here to do? The perpetual question of life. Yeah. Natalie, so glad you joined us. T Lady Nat, appreciate you being here. A. Morteza says, thank you. You have a special touch. That's very kind of you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Maureen, thank you. Very helpful. Good. I'm glad. Yeah, Ferdy says, fascinating stuff. It is indeed. It's amazing how the universe is nothing but repeated patterns. The question is how many of those types of patterns can we see, and can we understand? Can we see that natural overflow and breath moving between? So, music is math, math is music. Math is a pattern, the expression of life. Vanessa says, wow, feel very good. Thank you much. Thank you so much, Charlene, and all this group. Really appreciate you being here. Always good to be with you, all my friends. And don't forget, we have more excitement coming up. Next week is a big week. You cannot get rid of me next week, because apparently we're coming at you 6 times, and there's a reason for that. Next weekend is the summer solstice, and we'll talk about that in a minute, because we are going to be doing a summer solstice online retreat from June 19th, twice on the 20th, that Saturday, and then again on the 21st, where we're coming together under the longest light of the year. So we're really excited about that. And leading into that, we are actually going to be setting ourselves up to be able to make the most of this wonderful opportunity. So join us again this upcoming Monday, June 15th. January 15th is my birthday. That's why I probably said it without thinking. Monday, June 15th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time for the Sacred Storm, emptying the vessel for solstice light. Got to make sure that we are empty to be able to receive. So we're going to start clearing out this internal stuff, because you can't anchor this peak solar abundance that's coming if our nervous system is full of old data and mental noise. So June 15th is all about this intentional clearing of the whiteboard internally. And then Thursday, June 18th, the Da Vinci Glow, magnifying your radiance. It's a pre-solstice Leo crescent moon gathering and transmission. We're going to execute a magnificent internal purge of old narratives and cognitive fatigue when the mind takes over and it's a little too much. We're going to begin to mobilize a state of deep nervous system spaciousness and use that gorgeous power of the dark sign of the moon in this field to intentionally clear away outworn beliefs so that our bodies have that structural capacity to begin to receive the brilliant influx of the solar frequencies that are coming in that weekend. Because then on Friday, June 19th at 7:30 p.m. in the evening, we are coming together for a Midsummer Night's Dream, a Yoga Nidra attunement. Saturday, June 9th, June 20th at 9 a.m. We're going to be into the solstice tuning into the solstice with crystal singing bowls, immersions, and guided meditations. Back Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3 p.m. where we're going to cross the threshold and embodied solstice navigation. And then finally on Sunday, June 21st at high noon Eastern Time, noon to 2 p.m., we're going to become the light, the attuned solar ceremony. If you want more information and details about that, make sure you check out the website charleene.com, just my first name. Also, here's a really cool thing we're going to be doing with the solstice. Yes, we come at you live on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Insight Timer, but y'all see, each of these platforms have their own quirks, their capabilities, and their limitations. Now, if you'd like to join us via Zoom for these Friday, Saturday, Sunday sessions, be sure to go to charleene.com/solstice and register so that we can send you the Zoom link. Otherwise, we don't really have a way that we can do that. So the benefit of joining us via Zoom is that we are going to invite several people each of the sessions, that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, to come on live with me. And we're going to listen to your space, and we're going to let the bowls sing back to you what they hear. This is a very powerful time. This is something that's I typically only ever do when I'm teaching live paid classes or one-on-one type of private sessions. This is the only time we're going to be doing this outside of that. But it's an interesting and fun way for you to be able to hear your own sounds, your own signature frequency. One of the gifts that I was blessed with, I hear things. And other times it could have had me committed. However, we're not in those times, thank God. But what I do hear, I'm able to share back and express with you. And the bowls help me do that. We can actually begin to tune in and hear how your space is resonating. Think about it as like an aura snapshot, and instead of a picture, it's with sound. So you won't want to miss it. Go to charleene.com/solstice, or even just Charlene, scroll down on the page, you'll see it. And be sure to register so we can send you that link so that you'll have the possibility of being able to be one of the ones that comes on and has that live one-on-one experience with me. I always love connecting with you all. You guys are such a beautiful, beautiful group of individuals. I love how Lori is saying, wow, all that arose from this is still processing. Thank you. Yeah. Every session is different. Yes. Immorteza, a fellow Capricorn indeed, as is my husband and is his mother. Wild One says, in today's meditation, I dropped in quickly using my mudra. Good. Left hand at my root, right hand at my heart. Good for you. A combination of these two. There's so many different ways we can pattern our hands to establish patterns and anchor within our body. And they all do a variety of different things. You always get to find what's right for us. I love that you found yours. He said, you dropped in almost immediately. I felt a deep settling and opening. I experienced my inner cup as complete. La la amin, amen. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Fernie said, feel like I found you in this at the perfect time. So soothing. Thank you deeply. My pleasure. Thank you for being here. It's lovely to connect with you. Wild One says, full, overflowing with love, joy, and abundance from my lived life. It felt cellular. Yep. Like light moving through every part of me. I was outside when the sun broke through the clouds, and with my eyes was lit from both inside and out. The experience felt layered and expansive. The strongest realization was this: my cup is already full. Something naturally flows outward, not from effort or depletion, but from wholeness. Exactly. We are told that we are broken. We are told that we are not whole. We are told that we are sick. We are diagnosed with this and that and the other. And the truth is that we are already whole. We are already whole. Even within sacred scriptures across all cultures, one common theme, healing. Healing can only occur when we agree to perceive ourselves as the wholeness, the whole being that we already are. Do you want to be healed was a question that was often asked. And sometimes it's a tricky one to answer. And when we say yes, suddenly we can remember that elevated state of wholeness that's already within. Now, if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it all the time. But we've told ourselves it's not. So, untelling our story of it's not easy is part of the journey too. So be gentle yourself, laugh with yourself, love yourself, see yourself as the worthy being that you are. Because if you don't, nobody else will. And you know what? That's not true. I take that back. I do take that back. Sometimes we can't see our own worth, even though it's staring at us in the face. But I think that's the beauty of relationship, is that there will always be at least one who can see it for us. Because it's always there. Ferdy says, goodness, thank you for sharing that you went through that sort of time to be able to hear things, but now being able to translate it for us in service. So validating and hopeful to hear. Good. Well, I look forward to you joining us again. Natalie says, wow, that was your first time. The color of your voice is so calming and full of heart. I love that. Thank you for this healing session. Thank you for your kind and compassionate words, my friend. I appreciate it. Ferdy says, so many lovely reminders. Yeah, I think all of life is about lovely reminders. Pammy Zoo says, thank you so much, Charlene and Jeremy. You were listening on YouTube. You couldn't find the chat on YouTube. That's all right. I know there's so many buttons and wishing that and blah, blah, blah. Technology sometimes. Pammy Zoo says, thank you for helping me clear negativity and find peace. High five. You did that. You did that work. We just got to reflect it and mirror it back with and for you. Appreciate you. Yes, we are surrounded by beautiful light workers and beings of light, each and every one of us. My friend, I can't wait to see you again. Be sure to join us this upcoming Monday. Man, this is coming up into a full week. Hold on to your hats. Monday at 9 a.m., Thursday at 9 a.m., Friday at 7:30 p.m. Yoga Nidra. Saturday morning, 9 a.m., Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m. And by the way, those are both 2-hour sessions. Sunday, also a 2-hour session happening at high noon on the summer solstice. My friends, until we see each other again, may you always hold in your heart the tremendous power and worth that is circulating all around you and within you every moment of every day, for you are deeply needed, you are deeply valued, and you are deeply loved. I'll see you soon. Be well. Sat Nam.